Emily White has never had a more difficult season than this one. After last season was cut short, she's returned for one more year at Paradise Valley Community College.
I said, well, what are you doing? She said, I had no idea she was still playing. She says, I'm playing second base at PVCC. And I'm like, I literally got tears in my eyes. I was like, wow, okay.
After playing in the outfield for 11 years through travel ball, Centennial High School, and now PVCC, Emily had to switch to second base.
I've never not played it before, so it's just kind of, if you want something that bad, you'll learn how to adjust.
But a position change is close to the bottom on a long list of challenges Emily has faced in the past year.
We were just camping up in Flagstaff, and it was definitely a freak accident because we weren't doing anything crazy. It was me and 3 other people, and then we just hit like a bump in the road, and then it shifted like the front end of the car, over to the left side. Either way, we were gonna flip just because the way it was like pulling us. So I decided to correct it a little bit and roll into the mountain instead of off, which good thing we didn't because they said we would have died going off.
When I woke up, I was just really confused at first because it's like, oh, you have to get like aware of what just happened. Like you kind of woke up from something that you were just looking down at your phone. And then all of a sudden you're like on the ground trying to comprehend what was happening.
We've rolled 3.5 times and then I hit the mountain and then fell back down. But during the rolls, I got ejected from it and I landed in the middle of the road and the car, I just didn't make my leg out in time and it just crushed me and kept going.
After 45 minutes of waiting for help in the dark and cold desert night, Emily was taken to Flagstaff Medical Center, where she underwent 2 emergency surgeries.
I broke 19 bones, I snapped almost all of my arteries, ligaments gone, I was missing 2 inches of bone.
2 days later, she was transferred to St. Joseph's Hospital in Phoenix for 6 more surgeries. Due to the pandemic, Emily could not see any visitors during her 2-week stay.
I texted her every day and then I tried to FaceTime her every day. That is kind of a sad place being in the hospital, not having any visitors.
Alone in a hospital bed, the choice to amputate was left up to Emily.
You want to keep your foot or do you want your lifestyle? You can't get both, unfortunately. So you kind of have to make that decision. No one can make that but you, because you personally have to live with what happened.
Life takes us down many roads, but for Emily, as she learned on that fateful day in Munns Park, life isn't about what happens in our past. She uses her positive thinking to drive her ahead on her road to recovery.
It could always be worse. I could have died out there.
She has had a smile on this, through everything that has happened.
When Emily needed it most, the local softball community rallied around her in the months following her accident. Emily's aunt organized a GoFundMe campaign, raising over $26,000 for more than 300 donors.
The community as a whole just kind of reached out and have your back.
Just like the kid that I met that we brought onto varsity and that played right field for us and then made so many catches for our pitchers and made so many plays. She's going to persevere. She's going to be resilient. She's going to do it with this infectious smile.
Now, there's no challenge that can stop Emily.
She's understanding right now that she's not able to be the athlete she was before this happened. But she's not going to let it deter her from working her butt off and trying to get out there and getting as much playing time as she can.
There was a lot of times at practice where I actually ate it in the field trying to, drop step on a ball or do something like that. But, me, I just laughed it off and was like, of course this would happen,
Armed with a positive attitude and a blade, a position change is no match for Emily White. In Paradise Valley, Zach Keenan, Cronkite News.